The Jasper Cultural Center idea is gaining traction amongst city officials. More on that. Plus, TriCap has cut the ribbon on its newly renovated Jasper facility, and host Bill Potter has tonight's episode of Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin with more tragedy as last week's SUV versus UTV accident just north of Ferdinand has claimed a second life. Reports out of Evansville say 74-year-old Edgar Ebert died early Thursday evening at St. Mary's Medical Center. Reports say he succumbed to internal injuries and blunt force trauma. Now, Ebert was the driver of a UTV that was going northbound on State Road 162 on the east shoulder near County Road 815 South when the accident happened at around 12:45 last Thursday afternoon. DuBois County Sheriff's deputies say Ebert tried to make a hard left turn across traffic to go west on County Road 815 South. Ebert's UTV was hit in the driver's side door by a northbound SUV being driven by 29-year-old Sally Stout of Jasper. Stout was not injured. Ebert is the second person aboard the UTV to succumb to injuries this week. 70-year-old Leroy Whitty of Jasper, who was a passenger on the UTV, passed away Tuesday afternoon from head and chest injuries as a result of the crash. Whitty and Ebert are DuBois County's fourth and fifth highway fatalities thus far this year. Jasper police are investigating credit card skimming devices that were found at a pair of local gas stations. JPD says one of the devices was found at the Huck's gas station on Huffman Road in Jasper at pump number 15. The second device was found on pump number 3 at the Huck's location on 3rd Avenue. Now, JPD says the devices are believed to have been placed on the pumps back in July. Authorities found the skimmers just yesterday. Police are warning anyone who used those pumps between July and now to be particularly vigilant when it comes to the security of their credit or debit cards. Huck's is cooperating with authorities for this investigation. DuBois County is now among those in our area that has a burn ban in effect. The DuBois County Commissioners and DuBois County Fire Chiefs have issued the burn ban effective immediately, and it's in effect until further notice. Local officials say the burn ban is in place due to a prolonged period of drought which has created a major fire hazard. With the burn ban, there are several activities that are now prohibited, and these are open burning of any kind using conventional fuel like wood or other combustible material, burning of debris including timber, vegetation, or debris from building projects. Campfires and other recreational fires, including bonfires and pit fires, are also prohibited. The only exception to any of the burn ban rules is grills that are fueled by charcoal or propane. DuBois County joins Martin and Spencer counties as counties that currently have burn bans. The proposed Jasper Cultural Center is continuing to gain traction. Earlier this week, the Jasper City Council expressed their support for the idea. Councilman Tom Schmidt and Ray Howard went on record as being in favor so long as a new building would be built on the current Hoosier Desk site and the current building would be torn down. The remaining council members on hand expressed support as long as the city could afford it and a referendum could pass. Councilman Greg Schneer did not register an opinion Wednesday night as he was not at the meeting. Of course, the Jasper Arts Commission went before the council Wednesday night to start the discussion on funding for their portion of the Cultural Center. Mayor Terry Seitz says that effort is still a work in progress, but it can be done.
We do have a worksheet and a complete outline of how edit funds could be used. That's economic development income funds that could be used from our financial partner. And I would expect, as we announced to the council tonight, we'd have a public meeting to share to everyone how the possible financial scenarios could work with current funds, maintaining a healthy future fund, funding things that we normally do with edit every year, and ultimately then considering maybe some type of bond, which we did before with the several years ago before I became mayor on the sports complex.
Seitz says the Arts Commission will likely have to do some fundraising on their own to cover some of the cost. Now, the Jasper Cultural Campus could be done at a combined cost of $12.6 million. The Jasper Library and Jasper Arts Commission would share the building, and each would kick in roughly $6.3 million. The cost of purchasing the building is around $864,000. The Jasper Library Board voted last week to move to the Hoosier Desk site pending the passage of a referendum in 2016. Yesterday marked a big day for TRICAP. TRICAP board members, along with city, state, and federal officials, were on hand as the organization held a ribbon cutting for their newly renovated Southside Jasper facility. The renovation had been ongoing for several years on the building, which once housed Dipple's food store, and TRICAP has been in the building for a couple of months now since work was completed. TRICAP Executive Director Joyce Flex says the work began back in September of 2012 when she approached USDA officials about potential funding. The USDA ultimately kicked in funding through its Community Facilities Loan Program. In the end, TRICAP was able to purchase the building and took ownership of it last summer. Flex says she's happy with how everything turned out, and she says the biggest addition has been the new training room, which is making a huge difference in routine costs for TRICAP.
Instead of sending all of our 15 staff members, think about the cost of sending 15 staff members to Indianapolis for 3 days. It adds up fast. Hotels, the mileage, the meal, it's about $4,000. We brought the trainers here, and other people from the southern part of the state came here. So it's already paying for itself.
The new training room holds about 80 people. Meanwhile, Phil Limcooler is the state director for USDA Rural Development of Indiana and is originally from Jasper. He says the renovation fit exactly what his agency looks for.
When we got the request, I was very happy because this is exactly the type of project where we're looking at funding, and it fits exactly our community facilities program, helping government entities and not-for-profits in rural small communities, and that's exactly what we wanted to do when we heard about this project, was assist them any way we could.
This renovation cost around $600,000 in all. Work was done by Seifert Construction of Ferdinand. This year's Huntingburg Herbst Fest is now underway. The fest opened at around 5 o'clock last night with food and the beer garden. Of course, entertainment was also at a premium with music from Nick Dittmeyer and the Sawdusters of Jeffersonville and a performance from the Dubois County Country Cloggers. Now, this year's lineup of Herbst Fest entertainment is strong with Kirby Staley, Haywire, and the Celebration Singers among the musical performances. There are also some new organizations setting up booths this year, including Southbridge Cross Country. Jennifer Baisden is part of the Huntingburg Herbst Fest committee, and she says the entertainment lineup is a work in progress each year.
It is hard. You try to find something that, okay, what can we add that's different? What can we, get more people here for? So it is challenging. We try to add new events every year just to make it better.
Baisden says the committee often gets its recommendations from the Gaslight or other local entities that host live music to come up with their lineups. Of course, Herbst Fest is running through Sunday, and other highlightable events will include a barbecue and chili cook-off and the parade. The parade will conclude this year's Herbst Fest, and it gets underway at 2 p.m. on Sunday along 4th Street. Weather is coming up after the break.